What's up, guys? Americana back here with another video. Just like I talked about last week, the US stock market might be finding a bottom here. And if it does, it is no different than the last three that we've seen. Yet every time we've gotten back to these zones, everybody is all of a sudden de-risking. Everybody's worried about some sort of macro factor or some sort of geopolitical event. Yet the stock market still finds a bottom. In my opinion, this dynamic over the last 5 years has been an absolute cinema. So let's go ahead and dive into the video. I have on my notes here, I have the title of this video is "You Fools, You Fell For It Again." You fell for it at support again. And I think this meme does a decent job of kind of showing that, right? The absolute cinema meme of everybody's all of a sudden geopolitical experts, everybody's all of a sudden expert on this or that, or macro experts or this, and telling you why, hey man, it's a great idea to sell everything right here because we're definitely going lower. And it's just never been the case. Now, obviously, there's going to come a point in time where I am wrong about this and the stock market does go and continue lower. Now, do I think we're at a point in time where that happens right now? No. Okay, we get into that in other videos, but I just simply want to talk about kind of the bounce that we had last week and why you shouldn't really be as scared as a lot of people would make you to believe that you should be from the U.S. stock market. I have this meme up here, same sort of thing. So that was always support. Yeah, always was, man. Always was. And you just really shouldn't, rule number one, you really should not get overly bearish at support. Throughout any asset, throughout any period of time, it's just never a good idea. It just isn't what you're supposed to do. Okay. You can be bearish up here, be bearish up here, can be bearish up here. Right. There's a lot of places to be bearish, but price better be high before you get bearish. I better not see oversold momentum triggering only 10 times in the last 12 years on the Dow Jones and then you tell me you're bearish. It just simply shouldn't and doesn't work that way. So diving in a little bit lower time frame here, or zooming in a little bit closer, you can see momentum on the Dow Jones on the daily time frame starting to curl up, a histogram starting to curl up as well. This is while, right, the last 2 weeks have been riddled with videos about the S&P 500, about the Dow Jones, about the NASDAQ finding a top. It's time to de-risk. Look at this, look at that. Same people who were not worried about those things up in here are now all of a sudden worried back in here. Same people who were calling for a top in here, calling for a top in here, and then price drifted on all the way over here, right? Now they're telling you that the top is now it's here. Now this is the top. I'm talking about the doomers, the doomers on they were going back to 1929, 80% pullback, things like that. There's always those people on the internet. Yet the facts of the matter are we are sitting on top of support. Momentum is oversold to levels it hasn't been in many previous years, triggering a signal that hasn't fired only 10 times in the last 12 years while we have max fear in the market. It's kind of the point I've been trying to nail and drive into you guys. That's really all I wanted to cover in this video. Just an update on the Dow Jones on this chart that we looked at last week. We did get a bounce. Now, how does that play out with Bitcoin potentially finding a bottom in here? Well, definitely doesn't hurt us. If the stock market is going to put in some sort of macro bottom in here and go and move on higher from here, it's not going to hurt our chances of Bitcoin finding a bottom. That's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. Like I said, we did get a bounce in here. It would be absolute cinema to run back the exact same playbook that somehow nobody is talking about. And everybody got overly bearish on support, and Bitcoin goes and finds a bottom, and the stock market continues to new all-time highs, just like things always have in the past. Okay, there will be a time, there will be a place to go ahead and start getting bearish. I don't think now is it. Or if you are somebody who is one of those doomers and you are bearish and you do like to short and try to time the top of the market, well, you better be doing that up here and not loading up on puts on top of support. And that's pretty much it. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I do have a free newsletter in my bio. You guys can go ahead and sign up. I will be sending out the first volume at 100 subscribers on there. I also have a free Discord in there as well if you do want to ask me some more questions or just want to connect on a better level. Appreciate you guys. As always, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure notifications are turned on. That helps me out a lot. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.